possibly take advantages of mismatches, especially when you get to the point where Edwards and D'Lo look like better scoring threats, just much more thorough scoring threats as the years progress. So yeah, I'm huge on the concept of just having somebody who can take advantage or create mismatches, and Towns has the ability to do so. They just need to put a big out there who's not so inept offensively that it would justify him being out there. Vanderbilt, he's just not him. He's not that guy. So
All I
that's
would,
the point about
all I
it.
would say is, man, anybody that's doubting this whole, anybody thinks it's crazy or it's idiotic or it's ridiculous to trade Cat, do me one thing. Look at the jumbotron. Look at that face. It's the face of a loser. You trade losers in the NBA. That's all I'm saying. In the NBA, the one thing you do for your franchise if you're trying to win is trade losers. That is the face.
Dumb is
If
ruthless.
you looked up loser in the
Dumb is
dictionary,
ruthless.
this picture will pop up. He's a loser.
What? Cat was
Yeah.
getting doubled the whole game. I mean,
Remember-
today was a
Yeah,
battle
nah,
of coaches, I
we're
feel
not
like.
doing that.
Cat is
What does
soft.
that have to?
Cat
Wait.
is
What
soft.
does him being double have to do with that face and him being a loser? Tell me.
I mean, when you're getting triple team once you touch the
You're
ball, I
digging
mean,
your own
and when you
grave with
pass
that
it out, I
argument.
mean,
I ain't gonna
I
lie.
feel like today
Again,
was a
Come
battle
on,
of
he was
bro.
coaches.
under.
I'm
Digging
not
your
gonna
own
lie.
He
grave with that
wasn't being
argument.
triple.
He was
It's
still
a
That's dumb
very
argument, bro.
simple
Consistent,
argument,
like,
little
come
bro.
on.
He was
he
mad
was
that he
under.
got
Bro.
he was
Hit
mad
that
he
face.
fouled out, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I'm
was.
about to say
Let me
that.
also
Hey,
say
can I
this.
say
Let me
something?
say
That's
this
all you
about
gotta
Cat.
I
say,
mean,
Let
bro.
me
I'm
say
not
this
saying
about
Cat was
Cat.
playing bad
Because if
today.
you
I
watch
mean,
the
I'm not saying
Houston
he
He
Rockets
wasn't
was
playing
series,
good
playing
today.
bad.
I'm just
He
saying.
was playing
Bro,
bad.
he
You
was
don't
look,
have to
off.
look,
make an
Vague,
argument about
Vague,
his
He's
Vague.
play,
If
bro.
you watch the
trade
Houston
Cat? Are
Rockets
That's
you
not how
series,
you.
fucking
Vague,
serious?
Vague, listen. His point is, with as good as Anthony Edwards is projecting to be, when you have like a player like that who really looks like a diamond, like truly in the rough, like he's truly going to be a superstar. Keeping a Cat, especially with D'Angelo Russell, because none of those players really defend. Like I think Ant will be a decent defender, given
Ant
some
is a
years.
decent defender.
But
Like, he is a good defender.
right, but I think he'll
He's
be
not a good defender.
decent. He's
Ant
already
is a
decent.
good defender.
Good
Cat's a
He's
good.
defender is
decent,
sucking
bro. He's
dick.
decent.
He's
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 good
not a
on
not.
good
ball.
He's
He's
not.
good
defender.
on ball.
Vague. Yeah, I
Cat's an
understand it's your
excellent
team,
defender.
but come on. So look, in a few years, I think he'll be, you know, a plus level defender. But when you go with what's around him, and if you look at Cat and how he performed in that Houston Rockets series, my biggest issue with Cat is he never takes advantage of mismatches. You can get away with putting a smaller player on Cat at all times, and that's problematic. That's
Yeah.
huge. That's really
Because he's soft.
problematic for somebody who's going to be
Oh,
the 1A player on your team. Like, and I think you really need to make. I mean, it's not impossible for them to coexist, but you got to really start making a change for Anthony Edwards to be the 1A on that team and to run things through Ant, in my opinion,
yeah, and
because I
for the
really
people
believe
that
in him.
said Cat like cannot get better, I feel like if he just learns the way how to like operate, how a double team comes, and how you like so-called like
How long
find
has
open
It's
Cal?
been
looks.
like 6 years.
Hey, AD.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm gonna
mean,
say.
Yeah, no,
not
7 years.
really. I
Davis
feel
still
like
triple
once
man.
Cat wasn't good for 6 years. I feel like he just start like
Huh?
these past couple years.
But
He just need to
but
start getting
listen,
All right,
good,
That's
Terry.
not true.
He's saying
What?
That's
AD,
not
and
true.
then
bro.
But
once
you
they
you
Yo,
start
you
getting
Now
gotta
decent,
stop
stop
Man
I
speaking,
just
saying
feel
bro.
down.
like
You
he
gotta
needs to
stop
find a
You
certain
speaking.
way
two
how to
man
get
down.
better. You know.
Like, Vogue, I
that's
fuck
so
with you,
that's
bro.
that's just a lie,
You a
bro.
cat fan, but you
Nah,
all
gotta
right,
bro,
shut
all
the
right.
stop
Can I
fuck
say
up,
it.
bro.
something?
You gotta
Can I say
mute your
something?
mic, bro.
Let me, Damo. Let me ask you something. All right. Do you think any free agent or any player at all wants to come to Minnesota?
I
Yeah,
think
everybody.
to play with Anthony Edwards potentially, yes. As of right now, no. I'm not gonna say right now. Well, actually, I don't know. After this
I'm about to
performance,
say I
it depends on
disagree.
what they do in the playoffs. After this performance right here, show they have
Yeah.
heart. It's not the
Think
same loser mentality Timberwolves, but in the playoffs, if at the very least AE and the role players play good, that will attract free agents.
Exactly.
think think of
I
it like
feel
this.
like after this season, D'Angelo Russell's trade value would go really high, and I actually see the Timberwolves actually trading D'Angelo Russell.
No.
Why? Y'all
I
didn't.
actually
Okay,
see
y'all
that.
know
I
what's
don't know
up.
what are the Timberwolves hoping to get back in exchange for Karl-Anthony
Solid big,
Towns.
solid
Cat
four.
and
I
Cal are
mean,
best friends, man. You can't.
anybody but Vanderbilt. I mean, I love Vanderbilt, but not gonna lie, like
We
But
don't
going with
know
the
Yeah,
yet.
but
trade
going
he's an
Cal.
exactly what
offensive
We
you just
won't
said.
liability. You
know.
know.
But
We
but
really
going
won't
with
know
what you
until
just
this series is like this is my thing about the entire series.
Yeah, I
Like
think we should
yeah,
probably
we
get
won't
to
we won't know
Denver,
until
bro.
like legit they could go into the Memphis series
and let's say everything
Because
just
that
clicks
nigga
and they
plays good
beat them.
against
Nah, I
Memphis.
feel
None
like
of
we're
these
beating
problems
Memphis
are
in 5
happening.
Are they
respectfully.
trading or keeping
Okay.
Cat?
No,
Let's
bro,
Nah, and
easily
I'm
slow
not
beating
that
lying.
niggas
down.
out, bro. That's
Somebody
Nah, I'm
got
wild.
to
not
get this
lying.
nigga
I'm
out
we're
of here.
You
beating
can bring me
Memphis in
down
This
after
five.
nigga
this.
That's
out of
You can
here.
bring me
wild,
down
bro.
because I gotta go to this one. But my thing is this: like the entire series with Cat today looks soft, and this is not something that we haven't
Here
seen
you go with the
before.
soft shit, bro.
All the time he looks soft.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not just
Cat is
making it up.
soft.
We all saw the game today. If he played
I mean,
smarter, we wouldn't be
second team
talking
All
about it.
NBA considered soft too.
Congrats.
no,
He was
no.
second team
Oh
All
my
NBA, and he's
god.
soft.
Bro, let him land, and we'll go back and forth on it. But let him land real quick, especially since yet he got to go. So let him land real quick.
Let niggas speak, bro.
Yeah. He was soft today. Like that's pretty much it on that. Like Cat just got to play better. I'm not gonna go too crazy and say like, oh yeah, he's got to be traded. We don't know what he's gonna be traded for, but I do know this: that if we go into this next series and Anthony Edwards is the best performing player on the Minnesota Timberwolves, then the T-Wolves know what they need to do. And yeah, here's the keys. Cat, go ahead and give it to Ant. That's what I think they need to do. Um, last thing, Ant, again, great night. I know people probably talked about the Nets series with the Cleveland and Nets series. That game today. Shout out to Garland. He's a hooper. He's looking nice.
Hooped.
And the Nets, as much as
Another
everybody
player
loves
I
talking
told y'all
about
about.
Kyrie, love Kyrie, man. You know, solid dude. But the Nets are losing that series in 5. I'm just letting y'all know now. But Domo, Legend, So Sage, Eli, all y'all up here, West, y'all boys be easy, bro.
Is
Yeah,
Rob Williams playing in that series?
likewise,
Rob
Steve-O.
Williams,
Nah,
Rob Williams
Rob.
apparently he's not coming back until round 2. But
Right.
That's
my thing
tough.
about the Nets is there's no safe lead with that team. Like no getting that door is always open. Like it's never
Always.
closed.
Didn't Rob get like his meniscus like removed so that he can come back earlier?
I thought he got it
Yeah, I
shaved.
hope I
He
hope
got it
bro's straight.
shaved.
I don't want
Or
to
yeah,
completely
you
pivot
know
it,
what
but
I meant,
yeah,
nigga.
I do
Yeah.
hope Rob's straight. But
Well, all right. Any rebuttals? To, I
oh
guess
yeah, the only
Yeah, I
thing I
just
was
want
gonna
to
say,
add
CJ,
one more
before you
thing.
dip. Oh,
I
go
feel
ahead,
like
G.
this Memphis series, I feel like if Anthony Edwards actually does good, I feel like that'll like attract the defense more to him and then leave Cat, you know what I'm saying? More like room for him to eat. So that's why I personally think like we have better scores than Memphis Grizzlies. I feel like we would beat them in 5. There's nothing
Yeah,
else, you know?
both y'all crazy. So
I
But
I
that's
mean,
agree.
not.
that's
But
a
that.
take.
But
That's a take.
even if that's the case, that
Who's
was.
respectfully stopping the Timberwolves? I don't
But
see anybody stopping the
Can I
Timberwolves.
rebuttal to that?
but
Bro, this nigga's up here
yeah,
unhinged.
I don't
And
know.
I'm not
But
lying.
Can I rebuttal to
even with
that?
what you're saying,
Thank you, bro.
Y'all just
the
These
laughing, but
niggas
I honestly
hilarious,
believe
bro.
that.
What the
the
fuck?
problem wasn't Edwards, man. It was Vanderbilt, man. Like if you watch the game, Vanderbilt's man was the one who was like roaming
Torian
around.
Prince was injured.
Huh?
Torian Prince was injured. I mean,
Oh my
Torian Prince.
gosh, shut up
I
about
feel
that
like the
Hey,
shit.
just
coach,
keep moving,
Coach
Lo.
Vance
What?
would
You
actually
gotta keep
put Prince as
walking.
the 4,
Keep
and
walking,
then
Lo.
so that
Keep
they
walking.
Hey,
wouldn't
we
like
really gonna let him say
I
Wolves in
I
5, bro?
also
Like
Tor,
literally,
Tor,
like
Torian Torian
But
Timberwolves
it's a
Prince.
getting
take, J.
Timberwolves are
Will.
getting
It's a
swept.
Bro,
take.
Timberwolves are getting
Torian Prince
swept.
bro. Torian Prince is not even he wasn't even a starter. So I don't know what's going on right now. And B, that still doesn't absolve the fact that they're still probably going to make other people beat them. So like
And
again,
C, oh my bad. I
you're
thought you were done.
oh I'll just say this quick. And so you're saying this as if
and see.
like it doesn't matter if somebody else plays better or not. Like because this exists with other teams. Again, like I said before, Giannis is on a team where they playing Chris Middleton who can still give you 20, and they were still finding ways to double team him. Damian Lillard was on a team with CJ McCollum who can still give him 20 plus, and they were still double teaming him. There's when you're in the playoffs and the way that teams are going to scheme against you, you're going to see double teams. So to Minnesota fans, this what comes with being the franchise player or the first option on a team. This comes along with it. He just got to figure it out. It don't matter if
Facts.
Torian Prince was
respect that
there or
opinion.
not.
I
He gonna
respect.
I
have to
agree.
figure it out. Period.
Who I want to know who said Karl-Anthony Towns isn't soft because he got defensive second team. I want to
Vague.
know the dumb nigga that said
It's
that.
that nigga
Karl-Anthony
vague.
Towns isn't soft. I'm
Yo, that
just so
nigga soft as
confused
shit,
why
bro.
people
That's
say this.
anything,
He's a
boy.
little
He's
Nah,
soft.
soft.
there's
Anyways,
I
Hey,
mean,
look, look
I'll
at that
come
y'all
picture,
back.
just
bro.
I'll
have
Look
come
at the
back
picture,
when the
bro.
Wolves
Look at
I
the
beat the
don't
picture,
know.
bro.
Grizzlies in 5,
Like I don't know
and then
how
just see y'all. You
soft
know what I'm
is.
saying? Y'all can hop them the
Hold
bandwagon
on.
right
So
now.
let
So, I mean,
me
it's
What do
let
pretty
me
y'all
open
mean
right
by
now.
soft
let me
though? Like
rebuttal
But
that take. Let me
Wolves
I
in
didn't
rebuttal
watch
that
the
5.
take
game. I
because
Wolves
think
in
Cat
5.
hold
Cat
on.
Jesus Christ.
It
I
wasn't
don't know
me.
what's no, because y'all niggas is going crazy. I think Wes was gonna go, and then we'll go to the T-Wolves season, dude. But Wes, go ahead. Go.
Wes, you
Oh
gotta
well,
explain
Buddy
soft to
left.
me.
I was trying to rebut his take. He left, but I was just gonna say Jaren Jackson Jr. and Steven Adams are going to give Cat problems. Maybe Steven Adams he might be able to go back and forth with because he'll take him out to the perimeter, but more than likely Jaren Jackson Jr. should be guarding him. And I mean, I don't see a world where Cat has his way with Jaren Jackson Jr. Like I really don't. And considering the fact that Cat can't punish switches, he can't punish people who are smaller than him. I just don't understand. I
I
don't
feel like you're
understand it.
gassing it. You treating it like it's a go bear situation. Like it's not like he doesn't punish guards. Like you saw, like
Mm,
there are wings that give him issue, right? Like somebody like Rocco can give him an issue when there's when there's
but
like a bunch of
Memphis'
help backsides. But
guards are big
I
outside.
don't
Like
see how you
Josh
watched
shouldn't be
that game
switched
and you
on.
were like Cat was playing like a pussy. That's why he played like ass. Like everyone for the most part, him playing ass was yo, Cat, what the fuck are you doing? You doing way too much, nigga. You playing like a dumbass. You playing like I'm not gonna say his name, but you know who. Like
Anywho,
chill the fuck out,
so
nigga.
like I was
Face
saying,
ass.
Nah, say his name. Say his name.
I always revert
You
back to
said
the
what,
Houston
legend?
Rockets
Oh,
series, and I get it. It was
Low?
years
I don't know why I
ago.
called this nigga legend.
His first
here, one
time in the
second, Miss A.
playoffs.
Hey, Sage, they ready for you on the server.
Oh, I bet.
What the fuck?
But yeah, I just revert back to the Houston Rockets series, and I get Chris Paul is not your average 6 foot guard because he
Talk to
is
him.
stocky,
I told you.
but Chris Paul he gave Cat nightmares. Like
Can you
it
send
was really
clips?
nasty. It was nasty. I mean, you can go find them. I don't do all that
Talk
shit.
about Capella.
I know I watch basketball, and
Alrighty.
I just when I think about this series versus Memphis. Granted, if Ja gets switched on him,
Wes, when was
okay, I
he
think he
switched
can.
on a
Hold on, hold
guard
on,
this
hold on.
entire
Bro, Eli, let niggas finish, bro.
all right, bro.
If Ja gets switched on him, I think he'll handle his business. But if Desmond Bain gets switched on, he's not gonna. I don't see him eating on Desmond Bain. I don't see him really eating on anybody other than maybe like Tyus Jones and Ja. But I don't think they would be switched on him. So when you go Memphis's team, you look at the size, the length, the stature, and then the primary defender that I think will be on him is Triple J. I think Cat is going to struggle again. And to Dom's point earlier, if he struggles, let's say they get bounced in 6, to just be kind, and Cat doesn't play well, I think you have to explore the option or the idea of trading him. Like you just have to, I think. And
Wes,
that's
when
just
was
where I
Cat
stand on it.
switched on a guard this game, or even a forward
Again, I said Houston
that wasn't
Rockets.
Rocco and the nigga just got stonewalled.
I
He
did
Like I
got
not
he
say
know
got
this
he
game.
actually got stonewalled. I actually just saw the clip where he got stonewalled against. I want to say it was not Pat Bev. Um actually his first shot attempt he got
first
stonewalled ball. Jaron
Reggie
run out
Jackson.
Reggie Jackson. Yeah,
Reggie.
he got stonewalled at the elbow and was forced to throw up some bullshit as an
Some
elbow
bullshit, a
jumper.
bullshit floater.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
it
and
was
then tried
nasty.
to and Batum is a little bit taller, but then tried to take Batum off the dribble and wasn't that successful to do so. I just think, and I'm not saying I don't want to say that the nigga's soft, but I just don't think he's figured it out yet. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he's figured it out, and I think that every star just goes through that process, and he's at a stage of his career where he should have already figured it out, but he just doesn't
But he
have the
didn't have
reps
the
yet.
So
playoff
let me
How
ask
Yeah,
you
long?
this,
he doesn't
bro.
have the
It's
reps.
because
Yeah.
Jordan Woods is distracting this dumbass.
So let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this.
Jesus Christ.
Is it literally just like establishing position lower to the block and having a
yeah,
just
I
trusting in your
think
point guard,
that's
to know that he can find you, and if the guy from the weak side try to help over on the backside, kick it to the opposite corner, like isn't it just simple? So
yeah.
doesn't it make it look like Cat in people's minds to interpret it as he's being soft because he doesn't want to establish that position closer to the basket?
Well, the
I think that's good analysis, Shayla.
that's part of it also, but the way that they structure their offense, he's close to he spends a lot of time on the perimeter as well. I just think he needs the reps to understand when I have it here, and then the defense comes or they try to double me or a player is shadowing me as I dribble to the basket,
So that's coaching.
how to properly read this to find the open man, because like he spends a lot of time on the perimeter at the high elbow, and he
So is
just
that
has to do the
coaching?
right job.
Is that coaching? That needs to
I think
establish that
no,
in
I
his mind.
because he's good enough to make those shots. So like you would want him in that position anyway, because again it opens up driving lanes for anybody else who is trying to get to the basket as well. Like
Yeah.
there's a benefit from him being that far removed from the basket. So I think that that's probably where he's going to be, regardless of the coaching and regardless of the personnel around
But
him,
when you're trying to
because
run
that's the
like
benefit.
cat centric sets, like I do think that like part of what Jay Will was saying is like is kind of accurate. Like a lot it is harder to take advantage of like a Rocco, for example, who's a little stockier as a wing when you're doing it, 18 feet out as opposed to like closer to the block. And like I think this is an issue that like spacing bigs have to go through uh in the playoffs. Like if you remember Dirk's couple of playoff runs in like the early 2000s, teams would do this against him where they would put like wings against them, and either
Mm-hmm.
or they would literally just put a fucking guard on him, and either he would eat and he would like shoot over niggas like the series in 2002 where they didn't put KG on him, or he would play like shit, like the Golden State series.
But
And
the difference is, and I'm sorry, coach, but the difference is that
Dirk had a mid range game.
exactly. Not only did Dirk have a mid-range game, but especially early on in his career, Dirk had the ability to move off ball, so he was moving as if like he was damn near a perimeter player anyway. And as time progressed, he had to just find different ways to punish
Mhm.
smaller players as he got a little bit older in the post and pick his positioning. But that only came with reps, though. Like
I
so,
think
that's what
that's
I'm
the
saying.
next.
Like,
I think that's the next
See, but
evolution.
I be
yeah,
seeing
Just
it's the next
coaches.
step.
I
his
see
mid range
coaches
game
like I see
specifically.
coaches make like run sets.
That's a
Like
good
with
take.
with the Nuggets, like I've watched Mike Malone run a set where Jokic starts from the opposite elbow or the opposite wing, and then the guard comes set a screen just to get him on the opposite side to get
For
it
sure,
lower on the other
for sure.
side. Like so, it's a balance at the same point. Like okay, yeah, I can work from the elbow, but then there are some times where look, let's give it more balance to be able to switch it up and do both instead of just continue to do one more than the other.
That's fair
So
because I think I like Mike Malone is actually a perfect example of how they set screens and they have plays set to even put to put Jokic in a good position. However, like
exactly.
watching tonight's game, it never really felt like Towns was in such a bad positioning to where he couldn't like find a way to take an advantage. It's just that he was thinking this way, but the defense was already ready to counter in that way that he was going to go, and he didn't
Yeah.
have the counter to the defense reacting. That's what it felt like.
That's where,
It,
yeah, like that's why I'm not getting like the soft thing, because like it felt less like, okay, this nigga just a bitch, this nigga just a pussy, and more like this nigga just not reacting very well. Like it's more like the nigga's not playing smart than the nigga's not playing hard. Because like didn't he get like 3 straight offensive rebounds before he fouled out, where it was like, yo, why is this nigga so energized? And then it's like
But Eli, you remember that one play where he got
But
the
he's a
ball?
front runner. I
You
definitely
remember
think
that
he's a
one?
front
You
runner.
remember that one
they
play
were
where he got the
down,
ball
Wes.
high post? Remember the one play he got the ball high
They
post
had
and they ended up
momentum.
Yeah,
pushing him all the way to the 3 point line and they
yeah.
trapped him and then he didn't know where. People look at that type of thing as soft. Like how you go from the position you had it all the way out to the 3 point line. Like
and I
why
and I
Yeah,
haven't you
that's
and
like?
fair.
even to go with Eli though, and I think I guess soft is one way to look at it, but they've even because if you listen to certain interviews, and I'm pretty sure some Wolves fans can attest to this, and actually we can go to Wolves season after I say this. If you watch interviews about how Jimmy was talking about Towns, and even Ant and D'Lo talked about Towns this year, it's been a lot of get the ball and go, like make the decision quick, like make the decision, don't just sit on it, and then try to have the defense react because the
Facts.
the problem is that that works for Jokic because Jokic can make the right read and properly make the pass. So even when as the defense is trying to react to him as a scoring threat, he can still punish them with the right correct reads with passing. Towns isn't that great of a passer, so he needs to make the move immediately. So the lanes the passing lanes that will start to open up much more quicker. But that's something that even Edwards has been on what you call it, and D'Lo has been on record stating that that's something that they've been pushing this entire year is for him to get the ball and just go. Like don't stop pausing, immediately go and then force the defense to react instead of trying to read the defense because he's not that great of a passer. If that is If that is correct, or is that a right sentiment? Towns, I'm not Towns season, T-Wolf season.
I agree completely. And even Pat Bev told Cat, I think it was like the Heat game or something, and he got 2 quick fouls in the first. And Pat Bev told him, he said that you're the reason we almost lost this game. And I think that I gotta go soon, so I'll just leave you guys with this point. I think that we obviously have to build our own Ant, and we can see the extent to which Cat can bring us, like how far he can bring us in this series, in this Grizzly series. And if Cat is a 1B or a 1C, then I'm fine with that because I have Anthony Edwards and he can be the 1A. And the best thing for Ant, for the best thing for Ant is Cat.
I don't think that's. I don't think
a
that's.
one
The
a
best.
one C
I
is
think
crazy
the
though.
best. Yeah,
A 1C
one
is
C. I'm like,
crazy.
who the fuck is one?
No, that nigga's a second
A
option at
one
that
C is a
point.
2, bro.
Yo,
It
one
happens
yo one
sometimes
C
too.
one C you a second option, nigga. At that point, let's just keep it a bean. It ain't going that. It ain't going down that deep, nigga. You're a second option.
Can you imagine having a 1A, 1B, and 1C on your
Never
team?
even
What the
heard
fuck
that
is
shit
this?
That's just how our
before.
team
Like,
is
what
built,
the
man.
fuck?
What the
that's like
fuck is
the
this?
next
The
lab tier, though.
Warriors? That's the
That's the next
Warriors in
lab tier.
2017.
Nah, bro.
Nah,
That's
Clay
the,
was
No,
a
even
Clay was a second nigga.
Clay was definitely second at that. Clay,
bro, like I
They
said,
Clay,
it's
want
the
no
next lab
1A,
tier.
1B, 1C. What the
All right,
one
bro.
C
fuck
is
is you
crazy.
taking, nigga? Pills? Like, the fuck is going on? I've never heard that shit a day in my
Uh,
life. Fuck is
J
a
J
1C?
J Will.
Hey, I got a question. Like literally, like this Marcus Morris, like how he just got like killed on like Anthony Edwards just took him explosively off the dribble. Like everybody says, POA defenders, POA defenders. Like, because I'm a Nets fan and we don't really got no POA defenders. Like literally, we don't. So, like in the league in today's right, like I always look at Kawhi Leonard and Paul George as good POA defenders, but it's like they are so content with saying we're gonna switch everything. We're gonna let Batum, Morris, Reggie, or any other guy just switch,
Soft
right?
switches do be
Isn't
the
it?
death of
Isn't it?
him.
Isn't it get to a point like, do you continue to do that all because of, hey man, the offensive load is just it's too tough on them? But if it continue to guard nuclear weapons like Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Curry, Luca, and you keep dying on the hill with saying Morris just continue to get cooked where they're taking out the dribble 1-on-1, it makes your defense collapse to find shooters, or those guys are either getting to the free throw line or those guys are in the scoring. When do we say Paul George and Kawhi Leonard has to fight through screens? This guy got a head. This guy got a hard hedge. You got to communicate. We got to rotate to the pass because we're keeping our prime defenders on these guys to not kill us. When do this come back into the game of basketball? Because if it doesn't, like because Drew Holiday does this, and that's why I love the Bucks' chances every year, because he's that defender that's going to always do it. So, like,
To,
when do we start holding guys that's actually accountable to actually do this type of guarding to slow these other guys down? When do
to
we
be
do it?
fair, though, PG was defending D'Lo for majority of the game, so they just thought putting PG on D'Lo was going to be the answer. Like D'Lo still went off, but it was like
So
if
they
we
didn't, they
put
didn't have a second guy for Anthony Edwards because Kawhi's out,
yeah,
basically.
basically yeah,
Okay,
like basically
okay.
they didn't because I don't because and that's you're right. Like the point of attack defenders are very very important, but I don't think PG didn't get or spend really any time on Edwards until really like the second half, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and rewatch the footage,
Was
but
that the right decision?
I think early on they were probably. I think so. The same problem with Towns is what I think will happen with Edwards, which is the reason why I don't think you should overreact. Where if Edwards starts to become more prominent figure, they'll just say, "Well,
They'll
Edwards."
send more doubles, yeah.
They're going to send more doubles to him, and so I think the concept was, even if Edwards beat us off the dribble with Morris defending him, we'll just send the double team and make him a passer, which is as great as he might be. He's just not. I don't think he'll do that. But the reason why they struggle with that is because, and the reason why I said Towns is important is because when Towns is on the floor, he's removing Zubac out of the paint, and Zubac isn't quick enough to react to give help defense. So that was the ongoing match that they had a problem with. So the reason why it may have felt like the right decision is because if D'Lo beats us, not only can he score, but also he's a passing threat. And Edwards, he's not neither one of those. It's just the fact that Edwards was actually like making his shots. He's making some tough shots while still beating his man. I think they probably should have played Terrence Mann a little bit more though, because that might have been their answer instead of Morris. But yeah, Morris, yeah, he just wasn't. He wasn't him.
But they
So,
always say if you go with man, you lose shooting. So like,
Yeah, yeah.
like what do you do when you're trying to find the balance of like trying to have a good defender and the shooter at the same time, more than just going with the defender that can't really shoot?
Well, it would have been. I mean, Kawhi would fix that problem. I mean, and
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course,
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's not there, but Kawhi
I
would
mean, would he
definitely fix
entirely
that
though?
problem.
Because the soft, like getting killed on soft switches has been an issue for the Clippers since the bubble.
Exactly.
Like you
Fair,
saw.
but I don't think that Edwards. I don't think Edwards would have this type of game
No, I don't
if
think so
Kawhi's
either.
defending him and
I also don't.
PG is on D'Lo.
I still do think this is a little bit of an like. I mean, but it's one game, so we're
Yeah.
bound to have overreactions. Like I understand why niggas is like, and it's the future, cat ass. But like I don't expect it to be like this for the majority of the Memphis series. And like I do want niggas to realize there have been games this year where Ant had like 2 points. Like this nigga is a very, what's the word I'm looking for?
That's another reason why I'm like I can't. I've seen Ant have games where if the defense plays him right, bro, he might be a worse threat than
And there's also
than
games when
Talon.
that
But
nigga
look, he's
nobody's
just
better
saying.
than his
But
seventh
nobody's
that
year. He's
nigga
saying
just
better than his
don't
AE's the
seventh
drive
future.
year.
But
sometimes,
Better than
bro.
nobody
his
is
second
saying
year.
no one is saying AE's the future. Cat sucks. Nobody's saying that. I don't know who's pushing that propaganda.
Bro,
Them niggas are
I'm
clowns.
over
It's out there right now
exaggerating.
though, Damo.
And
I'm
Literally.
over
you know what else is
exaggerating,
out there?
Domo.
Clowns. Clowns are out
Oh
there.
man,
Squeak squeak honk honk. Niggas is
oh man,
clowns. I'm
oh
not
man.
saying no one is saying no one should be saying that, but you know what people should be realizing and saying? AE winning mentality. That man whose face is in the jumbotron, he's a loser. That's what we can't deny.
Oh my
Cat's a
god, bro.
loser.
Sometimes when I'm watching, like the way y'all are getting frustrated with Cat is how I get when that nigga Ant doesn't drive. Like it's very
Yeah,
fucking annoying to
his
watch.
shot selection is
It's
bad
so
sometimes.
fucking
Yeah.
stupid, bro. This nigga will pull up for like the dumbest fucking shots. But Jay Marsh
And then you
had his
saw
hand up for a little bit.
that three he airballed in the corner wide. It was like
Could have easily attacked
he
the
had no
closeout.
reason. Yeah, he could have easily just attacked, had a crazy dunk to get the crowd even more riled up, and just wait. He sat there, took his time, and then just hit nothing. But hey,
I mean,
shit happens.
niggas be tired. I mean, come on now. Listen, this ain't 2K. Niggas just ain't about
You
to
do this shit
run up
all
and
the
on the brick
time, though,
square.
bro.
Look, man, niggas be tired. And you know what looks better on ESPN and look better for the hoes? You putting them niggas away with a 3 in the corner. They look way
They
better.
do. He
They
not
look way
lying.
better. They look way
He ain't
better.
lying.
He was trying to put the game away. That's literally what their goal was. I'm about
That
to
nigga was
put this
trying to show
game
out
away.
for Jordan because
He's not even showing for Jordan. He was really trying to put that game away. That's what it was. They were so eager to win. They were so excited. That's why he took that.
Yeah,
three.
I felt like that was an I'm overly excited moment. That's what that felt like. But I would if you go back and rewatch just go watch the shot selections or the highlights for Edwards and then watch, you'll see Paul George defending D'Lo, especially in the first half, and then go watch D'Lo highlights after that. I'm watching it right now. The only time I think D'Lo only scored one time on PG. All the rest of his points are when he's being switched on like another player or something like that. Like D'Lo did not score on Paul George like really at all the entire
Yo,
game.
Saturday is gonna be so fun, bro.
Yeah,
Look
so
what I just
I
posted in the
love playoff
jumbotron. Look what Anthony
basketball.
Edwards said after the game.
What'd he say?
They were scared to guard me.
But see, that's the shit I'm talking about, bro. Like, come on, like, nigga, come on, bro.
That
Like,
nigga.
It was,
come on,
bro. It's so easy for PG to be like, hey, y'all get him. Let me just worry about D'Lo, bro. D'Lo going crazy. Let me get D'Lo. D'Lo going
Wait.
crazy.
I got a
It's so
question. I got a
easy.
question.
PG's best shit is as a nail defender though, like plugging in, passing lanes, like
Eli, yo, you're out here trying to talk logistics. I'm talking you real basketball shit, bro. Real eye test shit, Eli.
Yo, I
Listen,
got
But
a question.
but Eli, even react to that though, like, wouldn't it still be better to put? Because I see what you're saying as a nail defender, but if D'Lo is like just beating everybody off the fucking dribble and finding open players and knocking down floaters, like you're gonna have to put somebody with length on him anyway. And I'm just if you just go to NBA.com and just watch the shot selection from D'Lo and Edwards.
that's what I'm
That nigga,
saying though. I'm saying like PG closing up driving lanes for like on like ant drives is probably what he's best at. And like
it's probably
but
no,
if they icing out PG on the other, because
yeah.
Edwards and D'Lo are very rarely sharing the same side of the court with one another for him
Yeah,
to
they
play
usually
the
park
nail.
one of them in the corner.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
but
So
just do
Jay
it.
Morrison, just
Just
speak,
do it
bro.
with certain
Just
lineups,
speak.
then, low.
Yeah, you gotta talk
I
about
don't be
that.
trying.
Look for
I
I don't
don't
be
certain
think we
trying to
just
cut.
lineups
I
need.
where.
don't be trying to cut niggas off and shit. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
go ahead,
Like,
Jay.
It's kind of free
with
form
all
right
due
now,
respect,
nigga. We
you
just
know what I'm
talking
saying?
about
But